Starting and managing your event is simple. 2 hours prior to scheduled start time, you'll be able to go in and do all of your event setup. Simply click the blue microphone to launch into Studio. Once in Studio, you'll see full visibility of your event. On the left side of the screen are all of your telephony connections. In the middle of the screen are your presentations and videos, as well as all of your administration tools. Off to the right are your audio clips. At the top of the screen, you'll always have visibility to the number of listeners on the webcast and the number of callers on the phone. Before the meeting begins, the host and presenter are in a green room environment, allowing them to converse before the event begins. That discussion is offline from all attendees. When attendees dial in, they hear music hold until the event begins. Once the event begins, their lines are muted. You'll be able to have a managed Q&A session by instructing the audience members to press star 1 to queue up for questions over the phone. As you can see, Joe Smith has queued up for a question, and you can see that by the raised hand. If at any point you need to call out to someone, you always have the ability to dial out to a caller. Managing your slides and presentations are simple. Just click through the presentation to move arrow left or right, or pick a particular thumbnail and you can push that out to be the live slide for the audience. You'll have access to information about your event. Most importantly, you'll be able to post messages on the webcasting page for attendees. These messages appear in red text at the top of their page. The messages may be updated throughout the event. Chat is designed for meeting hosts and presenters for behind-the-scenes communication. Any chat that happens here is only seen by the host and the presenters. It is never seen by the audience members. You'll be able to toggle Q&A off for webcast attendees. As questions come in, you'll be able to manage those questions. As I click on a question, my name appears so other presenters know that I'm handling that question. When I respond, I will be able to respond publicly or privately via text. At no time do we display the name of the audience member asking the question to other viewers. If I choose to take that question via phone, or I don't want to take the question, I can always delete it to move it out of the queue to keep my screen clean. If I did it accidentally, I can always undelete that question and move it back up into the queue. We can take polls from our audience, and these polls are available pre-event as well as while the event is going on. To open a poll, I just click Start. I'll see the number of responses as well as the percentage of the audience that voted that way. At any point, I can finish that poll and then publish those results to the audience. While I'll always see the number of responses that have come in, the audience members will only see the percentage of audience that voted for that particular response. Now, starting my event is simple. All I have to do is hit Go Live. When I hit Go Live, my host and presenter will hear a countdown message advising them that the meeting is scheduled to begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once the countdown message plays, you'll see that our event goes live on the top left-hand side of the screen. We have our on-air indicator and a timer that tells us how much time has elapsed since we actually started the event. For me to manage questions from audience members, I have two options. I can either open their mic and allow them to speak freely into the conference, or I can choose to screen their question. If I were to join them in our screening room by clicking on the microphone headset icon here, we can talk offline from the main event, giving me a chance to perhaps screen the question or type the question into the screen next to the caller's name, allowing the other presenters to see it. I can move callers back into the queue, and if I choose to take that person's question, all I have to do is open their mic. When we're done answering that question, I'll be able to close their mic and move on to the next questioner. Since the platform is capable of supporting up to 3,000 telephony connections, I can simply filter by raised hands during any Q&A session. That'll show me just my open mics as well as any caller in queue. Audio clips can be very helpful for introductions, disclaimers, and actually pre-recorded content from your presenters. To play an audio clip that will broadcast over the audio conference as well as the webcast, all I have to do is hit play. I'll be able to adjust the volumes, stop the playback of that clip, and begin it again. I can always upload audio clips on the fly, and all of my audio clips are stored in my profile until I delete them. At the end of the event, all I have to do is click End Event. That's going to disconnect all of the audio connections and stop the webcast. At that point, if I've chosen to allow the archival process to take place, my event automatically begins archiving and will be published for audience members. Audience members that registered for my event are able to access the archive through the same link that they used for the live event. If I've published my registration link, audience members can register if they miss the live event and access the archive. All archives are stored on our servers for a period of 12 months. Reporting for those archives is always included in the reporting section of your dashboard.